Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
What does it mean to control your own destiny? Is destiny something that can really even be controlled? Do you think it cares about a storybook season? Or even a story 20 years in the making? Your destiny can't be controlled. It must be chased.
Welcome to this celebration of the historic season of Ball State men's volleyball, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie and produced by Ball State Sports Link. I'm Madison Surface.
And I'm Jordan Klimes. Over the next hour, we'll showcase some of the best stories off the court, hear from the team live in the studio, and talk to ESPN's Paul Sunderland, who will be calling the games in Los Angeles.
The Cardinals earned a #2 seed and a spot in the national semifinals after sweeping their way through the MIVA tournament. Let's take a look back at some of their highlights in Worthen Arena.
First appearance for the Cardinals in the championship since 2009. Purdue Fort Wayne comes in 6-8 in conference, but again misleading because of how well they've been playing lately. If you want to go to the NCAA tournament, you've got to win 3 sets. 2002 was the last time that Ball State won this tournament. The last time Ball State appeared in the NCAA tournament. You can just tell by the environment, they are dying to hear their name called.
I have never heard it this loud. This is the loudest and most fun that I've seen Merlin Arena. Both teams have been playing high energy volleyball, and this is all the making of a championship match.
Isaacson, there's Janice. You knew it was coming. Isaacson attacking. Angelos Mendeleris, maybe the secret weapon for Ball State this season. Middle, Egaret ball. Everyone was sucked up. Champion in his first year as the head coach for the Ball State Cardinals. Ball State victorious. They are the champions, and they're going dancing.
How you feeling, bro? I feel amazing. I feel like a champion. Yes, we are a champion. I am a champion. We are a champion.
Definitely an impressive season for the Cards and some great highlights from the creative storytellers in Sports Links.
Absolutely. And first-year head coach Donan Cruz has the Cardinals flying high this season, but this isn't his first national championship run. Here's more on his journey to Muncie, Indiana.
Volleyball has always been a part of what I did growing up. If I could think back towards like the 6th grade probably was when I started to take the sport pretty seriously. Ever since then it was just always a part of what I did, and after I graduated, moved back home to Hawaii and had a chance to work as a high school boys volleyball coach and worked at Chaminade as well, which is a D2 school out in Hawaii. Just through kind of those experiences really kind of reinforced what I wanted to do in the coaching profession. The role that I'm coming from, I had a good opportunity at what I would have thought a pretty young age as a head coach, starting off a new program. The success, I think, is a combination of recruiting and good training. We were fortunate enough to really have some good networks recruiting. I have some really good networks internationally, and that's where we found a lot of our high-end players was very talented guys out of Brazil. We had a couple Cubans, and you know, I say recruiting because it really does. You have to have the right talent in the gym. There were a lot of people that were mentors to me prior to arriving here through USA Volleyball and just through the coaching community. And I think it was a combination of good timing. You know, I felt like at Grandview where I was previously, I felt like I put the program better than when I found it. And kind of through the search process here at Ball State, you know, what draw most meaningful to me was really, this is a really big institution. It had a lot of small school feel to it. And for me, that was probably the biggest piece. It wasn't my first opportunity at going to the Division I arena in terms of men's or women's, but it was the first one where I felt like the principles and kind of the core of what the athletic department was about and what they represented was hit home with me.
Coach Cruz has put in her head like losing is not an option. Our ability is much better than it's been obviously since I've been here, but our ability compared to the conference and the nation is pretty high right now.
Coach Cruz was a really interesting guy when I first met him. He is just very talkative, he's very laid back. He's also a really good coach. Initially meeting him, you're like, oh, this guy's goofy, he's kind of cool. And then once you get to know him, you're like, oh, he's really disciplined, he's smart, he's nice, he like cares about his players.
You know, I think setting a standard of volleyball and work ethic is really important. One of the things when I had accepted this position is my goal is to try to do our best to put this program in position to win and compete for championships, and that's in a conference championship, that's in a national championship, and I think for us a lot of that has to do with taking care of the everyday tasks and being consistent in that piece.
We want to be playing our best volleyball in April. He's made that clear. He knows like the conference tournament is when we need to be playing our best. So if we have some bumps in the road here and there throughout this season, fine. As long as we figure it out there, like we have a chance of winning this conference and going on to the national tournament.
The standard of winning before, you know, the 2000s was an extremely high standard, and then me coming into this role, it's, you know, Ball State has done some good things, but the understanding is that we're much more capable than making it to a quarterfinal or a semifinal in the MIVA. The goal is how do we get our team back to a championship level.
I think he's just a guy that a lot of the guys enjoy playing for. Like we enjoy talking to him, we enjoy just normal conversations. He checks up on us. It's just like nice to have that reassurance behind us. Just the care we get kind of on and off the court makes it really easy to want to win for him.
Coach Cruz earned the MIVA Coach of the Year award and led the team to its first MIVA championship in 20 years. Entering the NCAA tournament, Ball State also has earned its highest ever ranking in the AVCA Coaches Poll, number 4. We're here live with Coach Cruz himself. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach. So you've been able to, you know, be in some big situations, and you've won conferences before. Heck, you've won national championships before. But winning that MIVA title, how is that different than anything you've done before?
You know, what makes this special this year has just been being able to come in on our first year as a staff with Coach Mike and Coach Christian and be able to share a special moment, I think, with a lot of Ball State fans and this special group of seniors and grad seniors. And, you know, we weren't here on the front half of their careers, and just knowing how much work they put into what they do, to me, seeing their reaction and how excited they've been throughout the year and how dedicated they've been is what really makes this, I think, special for me. And, you know, winning championships and putting yourself in contention for a national title, you know, is something that I think every coach sets out to do at the beginning of the year. So for us to have a seat at the table this week is really cool.
Yeah, and you guys are playing for something kind of bigger than even just yourselves this year with Dr. Don Chandel passing away. So can you just speak a bit about him and the impact he's had on you and really the whole organization? Yeah,
you know, for us, you know, at the end of last year, getting the news about Dr. Don, and for me being able to have met him a few times, you know, throughout my arrival in the summer, you know, it just means so much to the volleyball community across the U.S. And then just what he means to Ball State men's volleyball and how that has linked into women's volleyball and coaches around the country that are out there because of the passion that he kind of sparked in them. You know, this season has been a lot about, you know, kind of his legacy and us trying to bring Ball State men's volleyball back to where it belongs. And to know that he's watching over us as we're doing all of this is a pretty special feeling.
For sure, yeah, it's been awesome just to see what you guys do and how you play for Dr. Don Chandel, all the signs out there in Worthing. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah, it is cool, and you know, it's a celebration of life and a legacy, and for us and this group specifically to be able to be the group that has had the opportunity to meet so much alum because of his passing and what we did in the Ohio State game back in March. That was a special moment, I think, for a lot of people, and for our guys right now. I think looking back 5-10 years from now, they'll really realize how special that moment actually was and what this season meant to so many people.
Yeah. And Coach, you've hoisted the national champion trophy before, but never in the NCAA. You've done NAIA. Mm-hmm. So what would it feel like to be able to hoist the NCAA trophy possibly in a couple of days?
I'm not even sure if I can articulate that in words right now, you know. I think when you are in the last match of the season, and this could be at any level, and you could probably ask any coach at any level, when you get to that point, you know, there's been a recipe of so many good things going your way. So I think if that happens for us later this week, you You know, I think there's going to be an overwhelming, you know, feel of joy and gratitude to so many people. But yeah, to be able to hoist the NCAA trophy and celebrate with our team and our volleyball community is going to be a pretty special moment.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. Now we're going to take a look at the legacy of Dr. Don Shondell.
Dr. Don was not just a volleyball coach, he was a ball coach. He could coach any sport. He knew how to get people on time on task, not stand around, get a lot of action, activity going around. He did not like people standing around in whatever sport it was.
He will be remembered for his relentless efforts to promote the sport of volleyball. And that is an awesome phrase to describe Coach Don Shondell.
We have really one sport here that we could win the national championship, and that's men's volleyball. Because back then, you know, 4 teams qualified. 4 teams qualified, and I said if we give them the budget that they could go west and start playing the BYUs, the UCLAs, and you know, we could get better, and we can get there. You can see the flag up there on how many, you know, national championships that we went to.
Don was always coaching, always. He coached volleyball, of course, but he coached what you ate. He coached how you coached. He coached how to deal with people. He coached how you drove. And he coached nearly every part of a person's life.
It wasn't about what a successful coach he was. It wasn't about anything except when they saw my dad, he made them feel like they were the most important person in the conversation.
Dr. Don Shondell, for me, Coach Shondell, Shani, even Dr. Volleyball. He changed my life. And his dedication, his devotion, his commitment to volleyball, his service to Ball State must not be forgotten.
A lot of tomorrow for me is going to be about is really feeling a different magnitude of his impact that he had on the sport of volleyball and the Ball State community. And you know, it's really neat to have met him in person. Obviously, a different time than I think a lot of the people that are coming back to kind of celebrate his life and his legacy tomorrow. But I'm just fortunate that I was able to meet him in person and get to shake his hand. And you know, we watched the volleyball match together. We were able to catch one of the women's conference matches and sat up there, and just to be able to sit there and with him and his son Steve and Beth was just a unique experience, you know, to be able to connect kind of the old with the new, regardless of, you know, how much interaction we had. I thought that was really cool, and I think I'm looking forward to the team having the opportunity to see what kind of legacy that he built here, and how big of a community in volleyball and in just, you know, the university itself, what he did and his influences and impact really had on what the fabric of Ball State men's volleyball is today.
One player whose name carries a legacy is Dyer Ball, whose grandfather actually played for Don Shondell and whose dad won an Olympic gold medal. Here's more.
I always wanted to be a basketball player. I mean, I love watching basketball. I love playing basketball when I was younger. My junior and senior year, I realized that I didn't really want to do that anymore. And I started getting the interest in volleyball a little bit more again. I was like, yeah, this is maybe something that I want to do after high school.
I would say around 14, Dyer played club 1 year at 14, and started noticing his jumping and started noticing his timing. And I noticed right there that he had some tendencies as a lefty kid that could be good. His junior year when he came back, he ended up playing with and I was still playing at that team, my professional team here domestically. And it was kind of for funsies, but sure enough, as a setter, I'm setting, and Dyer gets in the line, and Dyer hits a ball. And Dyer hits another ball. And all of a sudden, these other guys like Jeff Patak, Jorge Rolak, Chris Gislin, who were all Americans for IPFW that were playing with me at the time, go, has Dyer played volleyball a whole lot? I'm like, no, not really. Got a good arm swing, got a natural eye for it. So sure enough, I think the positive influence by those guys, and those guys, listen, Dad saying you're good is one thing. these other guys who are also just as good as Dad used to be saying you're good, all of a sudden spurs the interest of the young man, right?
I always had that love for it. I just wanted to give another try, and once I did, I was like, okay, yeah, this is definitely something I want to do again. And I mean, it's always been in our blood. It's been my family's a big volleyball family, and I wanted to keep that going. I definitely felt a little bit of pressure to be a great volleyball player, just be a volleyball player in general. I don't really feel any pressure anymore. I love what I'm doing, and I'm just happy that I can keep going as a volleyball player for the Ball family.
It's awesome to see Dyer Ball carrying on that family legacy.
Another passionate player on this team is Quinn Isaacson, who carries the memory of a high school teammate. Let's watch in this SL feature.
For the last 3 years of being a captain, I've just kind of been hopefully a good leader to this team, and obviously the on-the-court stuff helps, but if I can set an example for these guys that are going to be juniors and seniors the next couple of years and they can keep passing it down, we'll keep a great tradition here.
I think just his volleyball IQ has been a huge benefit and asset to us as a coaching staff because he knows the game so well, and he just has a good pulse of the group.
My mom, I mean, 2 or 3 years old, she was coaching high school volleyball, and she used to put me in the carts and they would just roll me around. And that's how I started with the game, and slowly but surely I would see the girls play and I wanted to pepper with them, and I was starting to learn how to win. And I finally got pushed to do it a little bit when I was, I think, like 10 years old. My mom was like, oh, you could be really good at this. And I was like, yeah, we'll try it. And they didn't have, at that time, you don't have guys volleyball. So I actually intermixed with girls my first year. It was me, 2 other guys, and then the rest were girls. And then I was like, maybe this is something I can try more often. And then when I got with guys completely, just to play with, you know, that type of age, and I had a lot of fun. I knew I was going to enjoy it. I first met Matt the year before he played with us. His sister was on one of the top teams for Club 1, and my mom was actually the coach. So I went and watched her play, and then I see this 6'8", 15-year-old, and I'm like, do you play volleyball? He's like, oh, I'm a basketball player. I'm like, so am I. That doesn't mean you can't play volleyball. And he came to the tryout, and but the second he stepped in our gym and kind of got that feeling of a real competitive nature for men's volleyball, it changed his whole perspective. And he was like, I can do this for a long time. The rest was history, so I was happy I was able to get him there.
Quinn Isaacson earned his second All-MIVA first team selection this season. Isaacson led the nation with 11.48 assists per set. He also has a team-high 30 service aces during the regular season. All right, I'm here with 5th year Quinn Isaacson. Quinn, it's so good to see you again. I know we talked a little bit after the championship game. There were a lot of emotions, a lot of tears. What's the story behind that?
You know, it was just a long time coming, I would say, and a lot of guys put a lot of effort through the last, I mean, obviously for me, 5 years, and, you know, the alumni we're all really close with. We know the efforts they put in, that obviously they weren't, you know, they didn't get to that game, and we were kind of doing it for them. So it was just a long time coming for us, and we were just really happy about it.
Absolutely, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
You've been here for 5 years, so long time coming indeed.
Yeah.
What has the process looked like for you these past 5 years, and how have you seen kind of a shift in the team?
I mean, I think it started with the players. I think we had a good group come in, and we had some good guys ahead of me that kind of showed me the way. Obviously, like we've talked about, we haven't gotten to that game before, but they just showed you what it could take to get there. And we just needed all the pieces to, you know, work itself out. So I think a lot of the team kind of came together. I mean, we built a family around us, and that makes it really easy to play for the guy to your left. And then obviously this new staff coming in, I mean, they really set the tone of like, this team can do amazing things, and you've got to believe it. And once we kind of hooked onto that, it made it really easy for us to play in those big games and enjoy it, and obviously see what could have happened there. So.
Right, so not only you, but a couple of your teammates have mentioned you guys spend a lot of time together, not only in practices and preparation for game, but also just outside. What are some things you guys like to do together?
Oh, we play a lot of video games, and most of us live together. We live kind of by class, so I live with a couple of seniors and 5th year guys, and it's usually, you know, shuttles all the way down. But a lot of video games, golf, like any other sports we can play, like sand volleyball. We have people that we know at different places, and
yeah.
I mean, any activity really can go outside. Sometimes we want to go lay down and just relax. We watch all different types of TV and stuff like that. So literally anytime we can add someone to something, they do. So there's not much alone time, but you can get it if you want. But it's mainly we do a lot of stuff together, eat I mean, all that stuff. And but I wouldn't change it for the world. I think that's how we've created this bond together.
Yeah, I think you guys can definitely tell whenever you watch matches that you guys love being around each other and you have a lot of fun in any game situation.
Yeah.
So moving forward, looking at California, what are some steps you're taking in preparation?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited, and I've kind of gotten this question a lot of like, what changes? Nothing changes. This is what's gotten us here to that point. The way we've played the game, the way we've worked as a team, and I think the way we scouted. So it's really going to come down to that stuff. If we continue to do that and stay consistent through that time, I like our chances no matter what. Nothing. There's going to be a little bit more of a crowd, but I don't know from what we've had here, I don't know it'll be much different. Maybe a little more booze than what we're used to, but that's fine. We've had that. We've had a couple of those moments. We've been ready for that, so I think we'll be ready to go.
Awesome, and congratulations. Good luck out west.
Thank you.
We'll be rooting for you. And a player who's received a lot of your sets, Caleb Jennis. We have a great story on him from the Creative Storytellers in SportsLink. Let's take a look.
Back in South Carolina, we have a lot of really nice things. We got palm trees as far as you can see. The sky's always blue, partly cloudy with some sunshine. It's really nice. My hometown is very close-knit. You see people, you say hi. Everyone's just very nice and they're very caring. I had a lot of support behind me. I had my aunt and my uncle and my mom who all played in college and coached, as well as my beach friends, a bunch of like 30-year-old guys that are really fun to play with on the beach and helped me get better as a player. My first official tournament was in 4th grade with my mom and dad. It was a grass tournament in Columbia, South Carolina. We didn't win, not even close, but it was a fun time. It was a good family event. We did it every year from then on, and I loved it. There's no high school volleyball for boys in South Carolina. They're currently developing a program now after I've left. Probably the biggest challenge was the distance. I had to travel to play and even get acknowledged by any coaches. So I had to travel to play club to Atlanta, Georgia, which is a 5-hour drive. My parents drove me every weekend on Sunday morning and we practiced for 2.5 hours. So that was a pain, but it was worth it. It got me to a new club in Charlotte, North Carolina. It really developed me as a player and it was a fun time for me. I enjoyed doing it. I've also been able to travel a bunch of cool places. Like I went to California. It was the Collegiate Beach National Team. It was awesome. It was a great experience to get me in the USA pipeline. So then a few other things. I've just been all around the country. I've gone to Arizona, Texas, all the way up to New York. I've been everywhere. The biggest difference is that you have to be an all-around player to play beach. There's only 2 people on the court instead of 6, so it requires a lot more like passing and each player has to be good at each skill. So it's just helped me to practice and play. So then it got me to college. I got recruited from my club in Charlotte and got here. Ball state has really helped me to grow and expand outside my shell. I've gotten more comfortable, more social, just happier, honestly. And then on the court also, the transition from when I was a freshman coming in to right now is insane and unbelievable.
Caleb Jennis is a high spirit, loves volleyball competitor. His passing is next level. His attacking in games, there aren't many guys who can slow him down. And his IQ of the game is pretty legit.
I'm thankful for all the coaches that have helped me get there, the team, the players, the staff. It's insane. I'm really happy with where I am and I'm looking to go further.
Caleb he really is a special player. In my previous role, I've coached 3 different individuals that were multi-recipients of Player of the Year awards, and Caleb is that level of a guy.
I think he deserves all of the awards / the team awards that we're going to get because of him at the end of the season, because he's that next level and he'll go on to play for a long time after this.
He has a different love for the sport, and I think that goes such a long way for him. He's just so even kill. He doesn't get too excited, and his lows are not too low. And I think that speaks to his volleyball as well, but that's more character and just his vibe.
Going forward, I would really like to continue my career in volleyball, whether it be beach or indoor. The most likely possibility is overseas because that's where you can make the best job out of it. But there's also the beach option here if I am to be successful with that. It's undecided, but I'll definitely be playing volleyball in my future.
It really took his dedication to the sport to really get to where he is today, and that's not an easy task being from South Carolina where not a lot of volleyball, but he found it and he did a good job of staying involved.
It's awesome. It's everything I've dreamed of. I couldn't be happier. I love Ball State. I love volleyball. I love South Carolina. I'm grateful for all the people that have helped me to get here, and I know they're supporting me, so it makes me happy that I can actually show them what I'm capable of and make them proud.
Caleb Jennis earned the MIVA Player of the Year award after leading the conference with 4.69 kills per set and 5.21 points per set. Jennis also averaged a .386 attack percentage throughout the regular season. We now welcome Caleb Jennis to the show. Caleb, welcome. We're excited to have you.
Hi, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And congratulations. It's been a few days now since you've been a MIVA champion. Have you noticed anything different? Are you guys walking a little taller?
Yeah, definitely walking a little taller. We've had a lot of like notification, or not notification, but like people have noticed us on Ball State's campus all over, been like, hey, great game, like how'd it go? Like that's awesome. Like we'll be watching you guys in California. It's just been awesome to see everyone like looking to us and like celebrating us and saying good job.
Yeah, that game, the stadium was shaking. It was vibrating, it was so loud. Did that environment help you guys at all in that championship game?
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the main reasons that we wanted to have the home court advantage. We wanted our Muncie crowd to show out. I keep saying that over and over again. Muncie crowd showing out every time, all the way up to the roof of Worthen. It was just awesome to have them there, like screaming as loud as they could and just cheering for us and being supportive with the signs and everything. To have my parents there, it was amazing. They definitely helped us out a lot.
Yeah, we loved seeing your family and all the posters that all the parents made for all you guys. But you specifically, you were the Player of the Year. You led in multiple areas in that championship match. What has it been like really having to step up in that leadership position?
It's just really been a dream for me. It's something I've always wanted to do, just be the leader on the court for everyone. I thought I did a really great job this year, and I'm just looking to do more. I love having people on the team, the underclassmen, look up to me and just like want to learn from me and show my skills to someone, and just try to help people get better on the court. So it's just been a great experience for me to be that person and just to perform that well and get the accolades that I've gotten. Yeah,
I feel like through the underclassmen, you said you really hope that they look up to you guys. I feel like though if you're watching as an audience member, you never notice who's in what year because you guys are all so close. How do you create that environment on the team?
Yeah, it kind of starts just when they come in. You want to make sure the freshmen are like welcome and that they like you guys, and then we just build from there. So as soon as we get to meet them, we just ask them to hang out. We like everyone on the team. They're all really great people, really nice guys. It's just really easy to hang out with them. So just hang out as much as possible outside of the court. We see them enough on the court, so just really great to see them at all times.
Yeah, so moving out west this week, what are you really looking forward to in your personal game, but also as a team?
I'm looking forward to just playing some of the top competition in the country. Obviously, a couple teams got knocked off, unfortunately, but it's going to be great to just go out there and just play our hardest, have nothing to lose, and just go out there and give it our all. And especially to get the bye, that's amazing, just to get a head start on everyone and get us closer to the title.
Right. Well, congratulations again. We are so excited and we'll be rooting for you guys. But as you know, being a student athlete takes up a lot of effort and time and energy. And we followed around Felix for a day in his life. Let's take a look.
I personally would love to be like a pediatric scrub nurse or a cardiac ICU nurse. Both my parents are doctors. My dad's a psychiatrist and my mom's a dentist. So going into the medical field was kind of a no-brainer for me. Every time I come into clinical, it's like a day to improve on your skills. And whenever I'm able to improve on my skills, I always note it. And I'm really excited because I feel like I'm always improving every day I'm in clinical. And that's what I love. That's why I love going to clinical. As much as I love going to clinical and getting that experience, my nursing classes are where everything truly starts. Monday is my nursing class, my nursing lecture, and I would go to my other counseling class that I have right afterwards. I would go to the library for an hour and a half just to kind of start doing my homework for the week, trying to minimize my stress and all that, see how my week is going and where I can plan things out and what I need to do before we play, just so I can focus on volleyball come the end of the week. And then whatever I decide to leave, I would go home. I would make some breakfast. I make my own meals just because I love making food. It's like my second hobby, or my hobby, I guess.
Felix Aguirre earned All-MIVA second-team honors for the second time in his career. He leads the country with 1.386 blocks per set and added 14 aces and hit at a .357 attack percentage during the regular season. We're here with the man himself, Felix Aguirre. Felix, thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So it's been 20 years since Ball State last made it to an NCAA champion, or to the NCAA tournament. And so being a part of that team, how has it been this year?
Oh, it's been great. I just love going to practice with them. I love practicing with the guys, just enjoying my time with them. Every day is awesome. Honestly, we just always have a good time on and off the court, in and out. Like when we're on the team or doing any type of team function, there's always going to be some fun and some good vibes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so you're obviously heading into a couple of really big games coming up soon. So probably one of the biggest moments of your life, and same for all your teammates as well. So what's kind of the mentality and the vibe as a team as you get ready to suit up for this game?
We're here. I mean, we've worked for this. We've all thought about this since like August. So we're just like, since we're here, we might as well go out strong, go into it strong.
Yeah.
And we have nothing to lose, so just play our best. So.
Mm-hmm. And I can't talk to you without talking about the energy that you bring on the court, you and really the whole team. So can you just speak a little bit about the energy that you guys have and how much fun you guys have out there on the court?
So we play for a passionate coach. Coach Cruz is very passionate himself. He's very fun, very chill, and just has a great vibe to him. And he's very hardworking though. And he has that mentality that when we're just having fun playing our own volleyball, we play up to our standard and we make playing with each other more fun and more cohesive. He's always been preaching about like having a family type of mentality with his team, and this team's very close. So we attribute to him. But for me, I love playing the sport. I have such a passion to play. My energy just comes from within. Like whenever I feel like I get more excited when other people make great plays. I feel like I realize whenever people get blocks, I hug them and pick them up. I think that's just my thing, but it's just something that comes from within, and I love cheering and supporting my teammates whenever any of us does anything well. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us here today. Good luck in Cali. And one of your teammates, one of your counterparts, Agelos Mandelaris, he's got an interesting story coming from all the way across the pond from Greece to play now and get an All-MIVA team this year with Ball State. So let's take a look at his story coming from Greece, produced by SportsLink's Adam Duell.
Until I was 8 years old, I lived in Athens, Greece. That's where I started playing a little bit. In my house, when I was really young with my brothers, we would set up some chairs in the middle of the living room, and we had some balloons, and we just hit them over the net and stuff. My dad, he never really pushed us to force us to do anything, but we would always hear stories of him playing. Even when we had time off, we'd go to the beach, and then we'd play sand volleyball together there, and it just felt like it was part of our whole year. Age 15 and a half, 16, I moved to England. First few months, right, it was hard, it was a big adjustment. You can't speak the languages naturally, and you don't have any of your friends and your family around. I had to think about it, do I really want to be here? And I realized, that what I had was what many other people would have loved to have.
It was upon him. It was not because it's kind of a decision if you want to go there.
My brother was always really into volleyball. I feel like since the beginning, we had the chance to play in the same teams. We played a lot of beach volleyball together. When other people would go to their friends over the summer, I would stay with my brother. We would play beach volleyball together. We would travel together. He went there a year ahead of me. He was telling me stories again. I would watch his games actually. I would stay up till 2 a.m. to watch some of his games. And I was like, oh, that looks really cool. I want to do that.
Agelos was very into the recruitment process, wanting to know as much as he could about Barton.
The NCAA, has a pretty cool system that, you can combine the academics with sports really well.
as far as his playing goes, every match was special. I was just looking back at his stats, and it just kind of makes you laugh sometimes, the numbers he would put up.
Nice hit by Angelos Mandelaris through the block, 15-9.
But if you jump over 50 inches, who cares?
Well, there's some good news for college athletes who had their 2020 seasons canceled. The NCAA has restored a year of eligibility.
Before he arrived to Ball State, you know, he was somebody that everybody had their eye on as far as that where he would spend his 5th year.
I'm here, I had a practice for a month. You know, I started having shoulder issues, so I got my MRI. They just had to clean something up in there. But he did mention that, you know, sometimes the MRI does not show everything. Most probably that's not going to be the case, right? Like 90% chance it should be like what we saw in the MRI. I remember the doctor coming in and he was like, we actually had to put that anchor there. I remember I didn't even react. I was like, I knew it was going to happen, right? And, sorry. When I think of my best memories in my life, it was always like, most of the time it was, you know, related to volleyball or beach volleyball. So I knew like, that's the only thing I was thinking is like, I want to, you know, get out there and play again. The beginning of June is when I actually picked up a ball again. Beach volleyball, you know, it's like, there's only 2 people in the court instead of 6. The connection between the 2 players is like really important because, you know, if you're mad at one person, you know, you can't just ignore it and focus on the other 4, right? You have to deal with it. Since we were brothers, we were very comfortable with each other. I got the opportunity to represent Greece in some underage tournaments, you know, across the world. And when the final tournament came up, I was ready. I was locked in. I mean, I had nothing to lose, right? Because I didn't win any of the previous tournaments. I came out of the surgery 8 months before that. I could barely hit the ball a month before that. So I was just happy to be there.
Γελάκης Μούχλιας. Κι άλλο μπλοκ από τον Μανδυλάρη. Δεν υπάρχει αμφισβήτηση, είναι οι πρωταθλητές. Κυρίες και κύριοι, Άγγελος Μανδυλάρης και Ιάσονας Κανέλος είναι οι άνθρωποι.
I posted some pictures after and some people were like, I haven't seen that happy in like 3 years. Like, what's going on? It was just, I was smiling like crazy.
In beach volleyball, there's so much more skills that are related to the game that I think you see in Aguilas as far as how he attacks the ball.
Good save by Insulaco. Mandelaris again catches the floor. See, there's 7 kills already for Angelos.
A lot of us have been waiting a long time to be in this position. Felt like as soon as we entered the court, we knew it. We wanted this year to be a special year for us. Ball State, you know, it means a lot to me because I went through a really tough part of my life when I was here. It was exactly what I needed, I think. It was exactly what I needed to become a professional, both like in the work environment and both in the court, I think.
Angelos Mandelaris earned Almeva first-team honors after also receiving Conference and National Player of the Week recognitions. Mandelaris reigned 2nd in the MIVA with 4.94 points per set and 3rd in the conference with 4.19 kills per set. He delivered 18 service aces and hit a .337 clip during the regular season. Fan favorite Xander Pink adds to the island culture in Worthen Arena. He even had the opportunity to welcome his family to several matches this year. Here's a story from the creatives in SportsLink.
All the way from Hawaii, it's Pinky Xander!
We kind of all panic and like hit each other to be paying attention. Well, we want him to continue to play in the game. So if he messes up, if there's a possibility he doesn't go back in.
Pink serves. Carroll has a go at it down the line, but wide right. Cardinals with their biggest lead of the 3rd set as they...
To see Taylor and my other friends at my games is something really like comforting for me. To know that I have a consistent amount of my friends coming to watch my games. I have good friends like that who are going to be there for me and who are still supporting me and are going to support me for the next like few years that I'm here.
We live in Mililani. It's
middle income area. It's a newer development in Hawaii, kind of in the middle of Hawaii, Oahu, the island we live on.
We can go to the beach, we can go kayaking, anything, just eat a whole bunch of food. It's just, I don't know, it's a cool little dive area.
Volleyball in Hawaii is pretty big. At the University of Hawaii, at all the club teams, and it's really big for the girls, and then it's becoming very popular with the boys. It's a football town too, but a lot of kids can play volleyball. It's a scrappy sport in Hawaii. Sometimes not as tall as the mainland kids, but the Hawaii teams are very scrappy.
Our stadium is packed. Everybody comes out and cheers, and you just see the camaraderie and the family support, and the whole community just comes out.
Knowing a lot of the different players and being a prior ball boy for them and getting to meet all the really high level volleyball players really opened my eyes to the collegiate level.
Actually, Xander, I tried to force into baseball.
Xander Pink with the serve, everyone on their edge of their seats. A great set to the outside, but it's blocked, but they managed to get it up. The setter tries to tip it over, and Kai is there, getting the aloha ball.
He makes a lot of plays that we go, wow, nobody would make that play.
The nationals that they won last year, he ran into that, ran all the way down, hit the barrier on the side and got that ball back. And that's what won for them.
At nationals, we were playing really high-level teams, and my best friend who's coming up here next year was talking to Donan prior to me knowing about it. So he was like, I have this coach that is looking at me to go to Ball State, and he was telling me all about it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Oh, Xander's the man. You know, Xander's club that he comes from, I had a really good network and have coached some of his teammates from before. His energy that he brought when he played, you go to these club tournaments and people will really flood around these courts and these convention centers, and usually wherever Xander's playing, there's always a big crowd around.
I think just knowing that since my best friend was looking at it and also the coach was from Hawaii, kind of an easy choice for me to have.
You know, sometimes I think he is best buddies with Felix.
Xander's my little brother. I mean, he's one of my best friends. To him, I'm his big sister, and to him, he's just another one of my friends.
We have a volleyball ritual that we initiate all the younger guys, and so we ended up going to the volleyball house, and spending time with the volleyball guys. And out of nowhere, I spent an entire hour talking to Felix. Didn't know anybody else on the team, and I just kind of spent an hour talking to Felix. It was just really good to talk to somebody who's older than me and who's about to leave, and just know that he's going to support me, even though he's going to be gone and I'm still going to be here.
I think in a way they have a little bit of the same personality. Felix is a great kid, and they just have this special bond, a brotherhood kind of bond.
It's just like in Hawaii, he has all friends all over the place, and he just tells his friends come out and see him, and he's just, he gets that from his mom. Likes to talk with everybody, be friends with everybody.
He makes friends very easily, and just his personality, I think, brings people out. That makes the crowd go crazy.
When we were watching on TV when we were at home, we could always tell when he was coming in the game because you just hear all the girls and all the Ball State people start yelling, and then we go, oh, Xander must be coming in.
One of our coaches said, I've never felt the arena literally vibrate on my feet when Xander came in that set. You could literally feel the chairs on the sideline shaking.
Oh, we sit right behind the serving line. So on our side, right behind the serving line, so we can talk to him whenever we want. we'll just kind of look at him and then we'll start laughing. Or him and Felix will do something, or someone will do something stupid. And then we all just start laughing and he'll look at us and then we'll make eye contact and then we'll all start laughing again.
I always tell myself whenever I'm making goals for myself for volleyball is like to prove to all like the undersized kids and like even like the kids who are considered like D1 quality for like 6 foot and over, is to prove to them that like even though I'm like a small undersized player, I still have like the skills, the technique, and like everything to be on a D1 school and like really help my school and my teammates do better and take us far.
He plays a position that, you know, I think height is not a huge component to how you approach the skill of executing.
He's scrappy. He sacrifices his body like no other. He can dive for those balls, and he's good at what he does. I mean, not from a mom's point, but he's good at what he does. And a lot of people tell me that, so.
I don't think at any point he was thinking he was going to be 6'5" in his life, but you know, for him to come in and be able to maximize his potential given his height is something pretty cool to watch.
We now welcome ESPN's Paul Sunderland, who's in Los Angeles right now calling the action. Paul, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, good to be with you this morning. I'm headed down to Poly for practices later today and really excited about getting the tournament started. Thanks for having me.
Paul, just to kind of get us started off here, what have been your thoughts on the men's volleyball season so far?
The level's been high. I think across the country, you've seen a lot of upsets. I think the physicality of the players creates a lot more balance. I think the MIVA has been really, really strong. You saw a team like Princeton upset Penn State. You've seen teams out on the West Coast beating one another. We'll get into that as our conversation goes along, but I've watched a lot. It's not videotape anymore, but I've watched a lot of digital volleyball these days in the last couple of weeks getting ready for the tournament. And I've been really impressed with the level of play across the country.
Honestly, going more specific even, what have been your thoughts on Ball State? I know you mentioned Caleb Jennis a little.
Well, not a little. Caleb Jennis is a lot. Player of the year. I watched him in that final match that got you the #2 seed and back into the tournament for the first time in 20 years. So congratulations on a really historic run. But Jennis is the real deal. Good receiver, dynamic on the left, dynamic on the bic. And I really like the setter Quinn Isaacson as well. There's a very nice combination there. But you know, and again, we're speculating, North Greenville gets a vote, but we're speculating that Hawaii will be the opponent. They're going to load up on Jennis. They're going to really work him. They're going to serve him. They're well prepared. Charlie Wade is a wonderful coach. They're the defending champions. So to me, Ball State, albeit the #2 seed, the highest in program history, a real battle against Hawaii. And they're going to have, they meaning the Cardinals, are really going to have solid performances right around the rotation. You wonder how somebody like Mandelaris, who had 25 kills earlier in the year against Hawaii, how he's going to hold up. You know, when you look back, and I know you're very aware of this, Ball State beat Hawaii twice, but you got to look at the box score. Hawaii was hit by COVID during that period and didn't have 3 of their starters. So you wonder how that will play out psychologically. Yes, nice wins for Ball State, but now they're going to be playing a Hawaii team that replaced 4 key starters from last year. You've got a lot of young guys stepping into big roles with Hawaii. And I think now that the Rainbow Warriors are playing their best volleyball of the year, as is Ball State. Very, very tight, as it will be again at the top of the bracket as well.
Well, I think I can speak for Muncie when I say we would love for that matchup to happen, and we'd be so excited to watch that.
Yeah, well, be careful what you wish for. You know, Ball State's playing at a high level and obviously much improved from last year. And I think that, you know, your new head coach deserves a lot of credit for that. It's been quite a turnaround because last year was not particularly that impressive, but Coach Cruz has done a really, really good job.
And you talked a lot about the talent on these other teams right now, and you talked about Hawaii and how they had some players out. So do you think that Ball State and their team, do they think that they match up and they could really win the national tournament?
For Cardinal fans, you know, I've been doing this a long time, so I have to be honest. I think that Hawaii would be a favorite, but I think Ball State has really got a solid chance. I think they're playing exceptionally well. But again, Mandelaris has got to play well. How does Martinsky hold up? You know, he's hitting in the low 200s on the year. That's not going to get it done against Hawaii. He's got to have a big match. And I've been really impressed with your freshman middle blocker, Vanis Buchholz. I watched his numbers and watched him on my iPad, if you will. And Ball State solid. Ball State. I'm not trying to cop out Hawaii. I would, if I was gambling, I would bet on Hawaii. UCLA and Long Beach State. Man, I don't know. I think I would give a slight edge to UCLA, but that's just, and I do mean very slight.
Paul, I think that's all we got for you today. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I hope everybody enjoys the tournament. And once again, congratulations to everybody in Muncie and Ball State and all the Cardinals fans. They've had a wonderful season, and they're going to be right in the mix, but they're going to have to play at a really high level.
Before the team left for LA, we had a chance to join the team and Quinn Isaacson at practice, miking him up for some fun.
Oh. Wow, I'm getting old. Also, mic'd up people, I apologize for dire ball. Oh, we had this debate yesterday. Out of these three, you gotta choose one to get rid of. Ready? We said burrito bowls, burrito bowls, burritos, and tacos. You get burritos? That's been the ongoing answer. I love a good breakfast burrito though. Oh, hamstrings are not gonna have a day today. Yeah, this is. No, they're not gonna have a day today. No, warm-ups is the slow part. Hopefully no stutter drills today. Oh. Hopefully no stutter drills. Oh! Ugh. Oh. What? Sam, you underhand serves. And your serves almost hit the jumbotron every time you serve.
You say that, that's not even true.
You know, it is true. If you go back, they have to move it up a little bit before you serve. Hopefully over the net this time, though. 1-1-1, back. Oh! Dude, Neuer. I start swiping my card. I gotta get snacks or something. Oh, yeah. Arm feels good, just so you know. Hi, here. Me. Hey-o. I think the coaches purposely matched. Look at Donut and Coach Mike. They probably text each other like, hey, that's where the warm-up. Out. Oh, Bryce, do something, please. Thanks. Yes. I also told Coach Mike he can't be mean to me today. So he's mic'd up. And then he responded with, I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. Down. Hey, Coach. Coach, why didn't you match him with the other two? You're not matching with the other two. What's up with that?
What are they wearing?
They're wearing the warm-ups.
They wore the same thing the other day.
Oh, so they didn't wash it. Yeah, I respect that. We're giving that sideline. Oh, bad toss. But I know I'm going to be gassed in the next like 30 minutes, so I really should, but life's short. Ball you 1-2. Ball you.
Thank you for spending your time reflecting on a historic men's volleyball season with us.
And thanks to the team and Paul Sunderland for stopping by and talking to us before the important match on Thursday.
You can watch the Ball State Cardinals in the national semifinal on Thursday. The national championship is on Saturday.
And to go all access across the entire NCAA tournament and to stay up to date on all things Ball State men's volleyball, make sure to follow at BSU SportsLink.
This has been a Ball State men's volleyball NCAA special produced by Ball State SportsLink and presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Thank you for watching, and chirp chirp.
For Final Four, Ball State.
The Cardinals have a bye directly into the semifinals league next week in Los Angeles.
Absolutely dominant on both sides of the floor.
Set an awfully high bar. In his first year as head coach, he's taken the team to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 20 years.
We're ready.
We've become unstoppable, undeniable.
That feeling of what we felt at the MIVA Championship is something that we want to feel again.
It's our year.
The job's not finished.
Buckles came to play. They're the champions.
The sum of who we are is what we do with what we have.
Middle, Egarev
We got a shot at winning this.
Ball safe versus the world. Cali bound, we're going.
Our expectation right now is to go there and win.
We're ready to roll.
We want to go get the natty. Our team's ready to go.